Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Idoia Salazar, and I'm going to be talking about the different cultural perspectives on the impact of artificial intelligence, Alexa versus Alice or Alisa, which is Alexa, the Occidental bot, versus Alice or Alisa, which is a Russian one. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name, as I said, is Idoia Salazar. I'm president and co-founder of the Social and Ethical Impact of Artificial Intelligence Observatory. I'm also co-director of the Ethics and Responsible area in Idoia, this same observatory. I'm also PhD in journalism, professor at San Pablo CEU University in Madrid, Spain. I'm specialized in ethics of artificial intelligence. I'm a principal investigator in SIMPER Research Group, which is the Social Impact of Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Research Group. And I'm an author of different books, which is The Might of the Algorithm, Tales and Truth of Artificial Intelligence, co-authored with Richard Benjamins, The Revolution of Robots, How Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Affects Our Future, and the Depths of the Internet, Access Information that Search Engines Cannot Find, and Discover the Intelligence Future of the Internet. The three of them are written in Spanish. I'm also a founding member of Springer AI and Ethics Journal, and member of the Global AI Ethics Consortium. As you see, I'm all my professional life dedicated to study to how technology impacts society. Nowadays, as we know, we live in a global village in which technology is really affecting all the way that we live. And nowadays, we know that artificial intelligence is not something that we see in movies, but it is starting to affect many things that we are going to be living in the next years. Actually, nowadays, there are plenty of companies that are already implementing these artificial intelligence systems in the different services and products in order to make better their different processes. And one day or the other is going to affect our society. We know that we are trying through these technologies, we are trying to make the world a little bit smaller, but we have to think that even though we are really trying to make this world a little bit smaller, there are some things that are still surviving in each one of the countries. There are some things that is almost impossible to keep aside in order to study the impact of this technology, which is these multicultural differences. We really try with these artificial intelligence technologies to try to make like international code of ethics, for example, to have like just one code, international code of ethics that could make the main topics to be thinking about when we think when we try to see how to quote educate machines in this to minimize the negative impact of these technologies. But we are appreciating right now that is quite difficult to make international code of ethics of artificial intelligence, because every country, even though we are really trying through this technology to make to make it smaller, we are knowing now that it is very important to pay attention to the multicultural differences in order to do a good work and to make these artificial intelligence systems to work correctly. Because it is the first thing that we have to think about is these artificial intelligence peculiarities. What has this artificial intelligence that do not have other technologies that were happening before these artificial intelligence systems? From one side, we have the producers from science fiction. However, just in a very few times, we had another technologies which were in the mind of the people, as much as these robots and artificial intelligence agents and bots because we have even the internet. We couldn't even think about something related or something similar to the internet before the internet appeared, but we did have into our minds the vision or just the image of our robot or our artificial intelligence system before this artificial intelligence and these robots appear. We already have these producers from science fiction. It is a fact that in the Oriental world has like a different views about these different similarities and different perceptions of these technologies, quite different from the one that we have in the Occidental world. We will go over it a little bit later, but really these producers from science fiction are one of the main things that we need to work about in order to keep going with the development of artificial intelligence and the impact in society. And then we have another peculiarity, which is very important to talk about, which is this process inherent to the human, now performed by machines, who is the decision making. Nowadays, just these algorithms will be able even better in the future of making decisions. And this is one peculiarity that was just for humans some years ago. For some people really feel very disappointed, very confused when they think about these machines making decisions, and that everything these producers plus these processes inherent to the humans now performed by machines makes people feel this social fear, these fears. So it is very important to keep educating society, keep saying the society that this is not the real things about artificial intelligence, and we should keep telling them what is the reality, what is happening with this technology, and try to keep aside all of these producers that just lead to confusion into the different societies. As I said before, there is a quite different perceptions between the Occidental point of view and the Oriental point of view. Then here we can see different images from Western science fiction movies, like for example, I, Robot, Ex Machina, or Terminator. We tend to see in these Occidental movies, we tend to see how these artificial intelligence systems or these robots wants to take over humanity, or most of them are very autonomous and want to leave aside humans and just stay them as leaders, while there is quite difference to, for example, the Oriental society, for example, in Japan or China, in which they have been raising since they are born, with some cartoons, even cartoons, in which they see these robots as heroes. So it is quite different, the perception that these people in the Oriental world has about these robots and this artificial intelligence. Nowadays, these people are using these robots and these artificial intelligence systems to help humans in many tasks. For example, helping old people or people that are in hospitals, or maybe just develop different tasks, or even helping some people that do not like to stay with other people to to feel less alone. And while here again in the Occidental world, we see how we are many times talking about robots as things that are going to substitute humans and this kind of ideas. Okay, where in the Oriental world they see this more like to artificial intelligence systems as a utility to help people in order to improve themselves, while here in the Occidental world we still many people keep thinking that robots are going to substitute humans and live and think about keeping these decisions just for robots and or for artificial intelligence systems, and so humans won't have any chance to keep going and stay well when these artificial intelligence systems will keep developing. So here we can see one of the typical pictures in the decision making. Why it is very important to have into account these cultural differences. It is because we depending on the place that we live in which even in which family we have been raising in, you know, depending on so many different things that are around every person, we think differently, even when we think about important things. Here you can see a very typical picture. This is the Trump dilemma, in which you have in front of that Trump, which do not have brakes. It has a brakes failure. This Trump would do two things: keep straight, and in case this Trump keeps going straight, they will be running over 5 people, and then if this person who is in this side of the Trump just turn, there will be just one person that would be killed. There's no good answer. Maybe many of you would choose to turn, because there is just one person that would be killed in this is if you decide this option. But if you sometimes when you think differently, if you introduce new factors, like for example, if that only person is one person of your family, maybe what do you think? Maybe you would like keep it straight because you know the other person, and maybe you don't care if there are 5 and just one the other. But if there is one person that you know, maybe you would turn. And there is another thing: if you turn, that means that you are doing a conscious act of turning. So maybe you could feel even worse because you are like making this conscious act of turning instead of just going straight and uh, just do not do anything and run over these 5 person, because you don't do any act really, but in your mind. So there are many people. There have been plenty of exercises um, about these some similar experiments about this same example. For example, one is one of the MIT, what is called the moral machine. This moral machine was trying to get data from through an example like this, through different parts of the world, to know if it was possible to make like if people from throughout the world could have like same or similar actions or similar decisions about some specific cases. And at the end, they thought that at the end they saw that there was no just one ethical decision. There was no just one point of view about the different situations, but there are many depending on the part of the world they were in, or maybe on the peculiarities of the person, of that specific person, or about so many things. People were thinking one way or the other, even about very important questions. So there is after everything, there is a fact in this new world that we are going to be living, that we are living already right now, which is that we have to learn to live together, who artificial intelligence systems and humans. Why? Because it's going to be like a very important tool in our future. We have to see it as a tool. Just as when, for example, in the Industrial Revolution, we needed that machines to improve our strength in when working in the different tasks that we have to do in the fields. So nowadays we really need artificial intelligence systems to deal with the big amount of information and big data that we have nowadays all around us, and we will have in our future even more. So we really need artificial intelligence systems in order to improve us mentally, intellectually. We really need it in order to live better in our future. So we really have to learn to live together. So we need to keep going and to improve this interaction between these robots or these artificial intelligence systems and humans. How are we going to do that? This is that's the question. Why? Because what we just said at the beginning, we have, like in the Occidental world, we have plenty of producers, a lot of producers associated with science fiction, and we really need to keep aside all of these producers and start thinking about what is the real things about artificial intelligence, what the artificial intelligence systems can give us for good, and just leave aside all the negative things about the impact of this technology that has plenty of risk also. So a very good way of starting this interaction in a social level with between these robots, artificial intelligence, and humans, it is through developing through the development of the natural language. Nowadays is very we have like a very good level in natural language investigation and applied to artificial intelligence systems, but we really need to keep thinking about improving this investigative field about the natural language. Why? Because it is like the key when humans are going to see these robots that communicate, are able to communicate with them in their same language, is going to be a very good thing. We really would help to keep going to make better this interaction between the robots and the humans. But there is when we think about this improvement in the natural language of these artificial intelligence systems, we have to keep into our head thinking about some very important thing. We also have to think about these artificial intelligence systems as a tool. That means that when we communicate, we will keep communicating. When we will be communicating with these machines, it is very important that we see them as machines. So they, as some way, they are like they are seen as machines, and they will be named as a machine, as an artificial intelligence systems. So humans always have to see that they are communicating with machines and not be confused about if they are communicating with a machine or with another person. So there is when talking about this development of this natural language into machines, of course, it would be also very important the cultural context. So it is very important that these chatbots or artificial intelligence systems, which will be in chatbots or another devices, really have share the same peculiarities of the people that are living between. Okay, so there's another fact is that people from for example United States are different in their ideas than people, for example, in Russia. They think differently. They share specific beliefs. So if you launch a specific bot in United States, their thoughts, quote, must be different than the one that are in Russia, in Russia, for example. Why? Because if there are people in Russia communicating with their chatbots, it might expect another different thing that the people that are in United States, for example. Here we have one very important thing to understand the different cultures of the world, which is the Lewis model. This Lewis model is just a theory which shows that depending on the place, the different countries in which you are, you could be more linear active or multi-active or reactive. For example, people in Germany tend less to react to some things, while people, for example, in Brazil, they tend to react more to different, to be more emotional. You could see how in the red one, at the top, where you have countries like, for example, America, Argentina, Mexico, Brazil, Chile, or for example, you have nearby that Italy, Portugal, or Spain. The people are similar characteristics, but are very far away from the people in Germany or Switzerland, or for example, people in Japan. So really, when these machines will try to communicate to these kind of people, to these people that have specific peculiarities, really these machines should be, or the data scientists who are developing these specific bots have to think about their cultural, the culture of the specific place in which this specific bot is going to be launched, in order for the population to understand well with these machines and had a good interaction with these machines. Here we have another example. This is an example that was published in a specific report, in a specific essay, which was from the Dr. Paulina Aronson, and the essay was called "Can Emotion Regulating Text Translate Across Cultures?" And you can see here a comparison between the virtual agent Siri and its Russian equivalent Yandex. In one of them, the user wrote, "I feel sad," and Siri answered, "I wish I had arms so I could give you a hug." Meanwhile, Yandex version respond to the same question, "Nobody promised you it would be easy." This is really a great example of how different cultures perceive the world without assuming that one is better than another. So here is the real importance of to study the place of implementation of artificial intelligence systems such as virtual agents, because this fact can be relevant for his social acceptance. So this will be our future. This is our future. Our future, we would live. We will have to live together with these machines, as I said before, and that is also a fact. And what we have to do today is to keep working in the different techniques to improve the way we are going to live together, to improve a way to live together with these machines and to interact with these machines. And it's not a technical problem. Sometimes it's not a technical problem, and in this case, it is really not only a technical problem. It is a problem of education. Okay, this is even more important than to keep developing the artificial intelligence systems, natural language, or whatever. It is a need in our society of improve our education in the in this understanding in the understanding of these machines, of these artificial intelligence systems, in a way of keeping aside all the producers from science fiction, all the things that are saying many people about what is going to happen in the future, and start thinking about today and how to assume what is the current situation with this technology, and how are nowadays these companies implementing this technology into their different services and products, and how these artificial intelligence systems that we have today are going to impact nowadays to our society. Our society needs to understand for what these artificial intelligence systems are taking their personal data, and what are going to be doing these artificial intelligence systems with their personal data. For example, it is time to tell them that this is not a matter of just machines taking decisions and overcoming humanity. And there's what they have to understand is that these artificial intelligence systems are going to come to help us in many tasks to deal with all the data that we have all around us. And it is time also that they understand the real risk of these artificial intelligence systems. We have many risks that are very seriously related, for example, with bias in this data or in the different algorithms of artificial intelligence, and many other risks related, for example, with privacy and other important things. So we need to keep educating society in the real advantages and disadvantages of artificial intelligence. Here I have a book that I have written with Richard Benjamins, and it is called Might of the Algorithm, and this is Tales and Truths about Artificial Intelligence, and it's in Spanish, but we really try with this to keep educating society in what is a reality about artificial intelligence systems, and forget about these producers, and it's written in a very understandable language. So everybody, not only scientists, every people in the street, no matter in which our area is, these people is, could understand what is the reality about this technology. And also that is why I created this observatory for the ethical and social impact of artificial intelligence. Main of it is to educate society so they get the basis in which they feel well, in order to grow in this new world of living together with these machines in harmony. Thank you very much for everything, and have a good day.